Well, good afternoon, friends. I am Punit Shukla, Assistant Professor, Department of English, Global Institute of Technology. I am here with my next topic, that is non-verbal communication. Communication, as we have already discussed in our previous topics and previous videos, that communication is basically a two-way process where there is a complete process of listening, complete process of communicating or speaking, and finally the feedback. This communication process has two different channels. One is the verbal communication and the other one is the non-verbal communication. I already told you earlier that verbal communication that incorporates the two dimensions, one is oral and the other one is written communication, is generally considered more authentic. More authentic means it has a proof afterwards. After the communication is done, even it has a proof that this had been discussed at that time. So this is verbal communication which is more authentic but less effective. Effective means sometimes see, body language has a role, a particular role, a proper and defined role in making other individuals or the other hand understand what you wish to communicate to the individual or to the second person or to the group as a whole. In exact terms, what is the real sense of your communication or what is the real meaning of your words? So this is what to be considered as the verbal communication, but we already studied that non-verbal communication is less authentic but more effective. More effective. Why it is more effective? Because it leaves a deep impression to the memory span of the listener, who gets you in the form of your physical appearance, who gets you in the form of your gestures, who gets you in the form of your posture, and at that very moment your body language speaks. And when your body language speaks, your words are not needed to be asserted, because your body language speaks better your words does. Your words are the impression of your feelings. Your words are the representative of your inner feeling. But beforehand, your body language plays a deeper and a greater role to communicate what your real intention or belief or feelings are for others or over some particular topic. So this is what to be considered the non-verbal communication. Today we shall just study and just hit upon the same idea, non-verbal communication, to a deeper, in a deeper sense, right? In the this particular title slide, you are getting two ladies discussing something, and the lady who is seated on the left, if I am observing the, if I am viewing the this particular slide, I get it on my left. She has a particular specific eye communication with the other lady, which shows, which indicates, without, because I am just having a look of the photograph, right? But still, anyone, not only me, anyone can say that she is surprised or she is extra overexcited over some particular communication made by the other hand. Other hand means the lady who is seated on the right has said something to this lady, and by getting the words of the lady, she has become overexcited, over enthusiastic. Such kind of impressions are coming out of her facial expressions, her body language, the excitement. See, she is a little bent, she is a little bent forward to get the lady in a proper manner. It shows the kind of attraction and attention of the lady towards the words spoken by, or towards the message communicated by the other lady, right, who is a speaker right now at the moment. So in such way, if we as a general scorer can get it in a proper manner, that what exactly is the intention of the lady or what the body language of the lady says, in such way each and every individual gets it properly. And beyond the limits of human beings, if we talk of birds and animals, even we get that most of the times it happens that your pets get your body language in a proper manner. Your pet dog, your parrot, your cat, whatever pet you are having at your home, if you do have, then you must have experience some or the other time that they are having a particular understanding of your body language, of your facial expressions. So on such account it can easily be justified that body language plays a deeper and a more effective role in communication. And exactly, body language is the reflection of non-verbal communication. Now onwards we are going to the title and the idea, basic idea that we wish to discuss in the upcoming slides. See, non-verbal communication. What exactly the non-verbal communication is? Now, non-verbal communication through any means other than words. Here, words are not playing any role. Here, words are not spoken. But beyond and above the limits of the word, there is a particular and specific and static language, and that language is communicated through your body, through your gestures, through your posture, and so on. Second, communication that uses non-linguistic means. Non-linguistic means where there is no defined language. Each and every individual has a segregated and separate body language. Each and every individual has a different pattern of expressing himself or herself in front of others. There is a great possibility that on a specific topic, on a specific mode, one individual is reacting in different manner and the other's reaction is different. So body language, non-verbal communication differs from person to person even. Yes, the reflection of or the reaction of happiness is all the way unifying, but that unification has diversification even. My expression of happiness is different and somebody else's expression of happiness may differ. What's mine is like from mine. Next is transfer of meaning by body language, space, time, and paralanguage. Like transfer or transmitting information through different modes, right? Language beyond language, that is paralanguage, time, space. If you are delaying in responding, it again gives a kind of indication to others that what's your inclination or intention is. So everything has a role, every aspect has a role. The time plays a segregated role, a perfect role, an acute role. Space also plays a role. Suppose you are interacting with somebody, what is the like distance of yours with the person makes a difference, makes an impression over the psychology of the other individual, that what's the individual's affection, attention, attraction towards me is. You can get everything by the kind of space you are having with the other hand. Now this is the a kind of percentage exactly, through which we can get that how much proportion or what vast scope the non-verbal communication has. See this graph, and in this circle, in this particular circle, it is which is divided in three dimensions, exactly three pieces in our linguistic form. We can say that spoken words are next to nothing. They are having only 7% role out of the entire communication. Secondly comes tone of voice, that pays 38% participation, or that has 38% participation in entire communication, which makes a meaning, which creates a sense. That is your tone, that is your intonation, that are the pauses used by you, and much more. And finally the 55% communication is done by body language, by gestures, by expressions, by eye communication. That is the entirely, we can say, it is the non-verbal communication. So non-verbal communication has a greater proportion of entire greater proportion of the entire interaction, entire discussion, entire communication that we do have. Suppose we take a criteria of 7 days. So whatever we communicate in a space of or in a set of time of 7 days, we can say that out of 7 days, almost 4 days we will dedicate over non-verbal communication, and remaining 3 days will be could be dedicated to this verbal communication and other intonations, tone of voice, everything. Next is why non-verbal communication. What is the requirement of non-verbal communication? When we do have a tongue right now, then we can speak, and if we can speak, if we can write, then what's the need of the non-verbal communication? See, words provide objective information. The aesthetic information is provided by non-verbal communication. The objectivity, the surface level communication can only be done or become possible by the help of the words. The entire idea, the aesthetic pleasure, can be achieved by non-verbal communication only. Next is actions speak louder than words. I have already told you that non-verbal communication is more effective than the verbal communication is. So the same is mentioned over here. Action speak louder than words, means the impression of the act, the impression of the body language, the impression of your facial expressions, the impression of your you see, there is a therapy also, healing therapy, touch therapy. So what is this touch therapy? This is the non-verbal communication, that I am empathetic to you, I am with you, don't worry, you are not needed to worry. So these feelings can't be expressed through words, or if even if we wish to, or we express the same through words, it will not give any solution to the sufferer. The sufferer can be pacified, the sufferer can only be satisfied by our empathetic touch, by our empathetic affection, or the gesture that we give to him, that you are not needed to worry for anymore. I am here with you. I am here to support you to the end of your problem. So these are the kind of feelings which make a deeper impression over each and every individual, because we all are social beings. We all live in society. We all the way require a kind of support from society. So that support can't come through words. It can only come through gestures. It can only come through act. It can only come through your kind of attraction and attachment towards others. And concern also, concern is also a kind of non-verbal communication. If you are concerned and keen to other individual, it reflects by your action, and the same reflection gives a deeper impression over the psychology, over the mentality, over the response of the other individual than your words or your written communication does. Words conceal, actions reveal. Words can be pinched, words can be concealed, but the action is for reflection, is to reveal the things, reveal the facts. Non-verbal expresses true feelings and attitudes. Non-verbal communication cannot be cheated, cannot cheat others. Through non-verbal, see, whatever your expressions would be, they would never lie to other individuals. So, but whether your words and your written communication can be lied, right? But you cannot lie through your expressions. The expressions are all the way honest. Okay, next is central to interpersonal relationship, right? Central to interpersonal relationship. The aesthetic happiness of relationship can sustain with the help of non-verbal communication only. The non-verbal communication that is expressed by your feelings, your gestures, your internal affection with others, can is the base of is the no is the base of, or the effective formula of the high building of your relationship. Leaders and managers create impression, manage interaction, and the last one is greater impact. everything is correlated, interlinked, that it has a deep impact over each and every individual. You are more you become more touchy, you become more affectionate towards others, you start relying over others with the help of your non-verbal, with the help of the non-verbal communication expressed by the other end, instead of that verbal communication that is almost showy and fake. Next is types of non-verbal codes. We are going to deal the topic in a deeper manner with some deep and thorough understanding. So just try to get all these points very minutely and try to understand each and everything and the impact of each and everything very keenly. First is kinesics, second is Oculesics, Oculesics. Next is Hap-tics. Next is Proxemics. Next is Paralanguage or Vocalics. Next is Appearance and Artifacts. And the last one is Chronemics. Now see, kinesics is articulation of body, like your the way you sit, the way you stand, the way you respond to your body, like your facial expressions, your pose, your every action reflects something, gives an impression to the others that in what mode you are at the moment, whether you are sincere, whether you are casual, whether you are concerned, whether you are indifferent, like everything is clarified by the body language, whether you are like humble, whether you are harsh, whether you are agitated, whether you are curious, everything is expressed, and it incorporates facial expressions, postures, and gestures. Now, facial expressions. The lady who is on the left hand side has a block of legs and is just yawning. So it shows that she is unconcerned to the scenario, what is happening around her, or she is not having any interest with the environment, with the surrounding, with the scenario, that what's going on. She is least concerned. The the second person next to the lady seated on the left is very much deep into some thought. She is having some marshalling of affairs at the back of her mind. She is thinking something, she is deeply thinking something. The person in the middle, the gentleman in the middle, having a laptop, right? He is busy doing something, exploring something. He is doing the 11th hour job. Suppose it's a waiting bench of interview. So he is busy doing something which could be beneficial to him at the as of the interview or in the interview room. This is the next idea, and the remaining two are having indifference of opinions, like they are having different modes. One is careless. He like the male candidate who is on the right end has no concern and no care of the interview, that what's going on is of no use. He is simply interacting something with other individual over mobile phone, and the lady who is next to him is under some stress and under some strain. The strain is clearly reflected by her facial expressions. She is under some tension. So this is the kinesics, exactly the articulation of body, the way you sit, the way you stand, the way you behave, the way you react, everything is incorporated under this title. Next is Aclesics. This is eye communication or eye contact. The way you gaze, the way you look, the way you observe the other individual makes a difference. Sometimes you become irritating by your gazing, by your peeping to the other individual. Sometimes you look like curious. Sometimes you look like anguish. Sometimes you look like spellbound, and much more. So all sort of impressions, all sort of feelings are reflected by the non-verbal communication, exactly the eye contact, because eye contact is the base of all communication, all bonding kind of thing. If you are having a proper eye contact with the speaker to whom you are listening, or if the and vice versa, if the speaker does have the same kind of attention towards you as a listener, then a deep bonding can be developed between the two bodies, the speaker and the listener, the speaker as a communicator or as a speaker, and the listener as a listener. Next is direct and powerful form. Right now, most noticeable. So this kinesics exactly, or sorry, oculesics is the eye communication exactly is a direct and powerful form that is most noticeable. Second one is effect on three components of credibility: dynamism, competence, and trustworthiness. Right? Your eye communication creates a creativity, a sense of competence. It shows your confidence level. Your eyes reflect the confidence that yes, I can do and I will. Your eyes reflect the kind of dynamism, the blinking of your eyes, the sparkling of your eyeballs. Everything reflects some or the other of your feelings over others. Next, the last, the trustworthiness. Eyes hardly can be lied, hardly can tell lie or give false communication. So trustworthiness can also be judged through eye communication. Next is gazing and mutual gaze. Gaze and mutual gaze are different. Gazing means you are irritating somebody, and mutual gaze means you are making the other individual consented to your gaze or by your gaze. There is something such scenario out of which you are having a deep eye communication with the individual. So it is again on behalf of your mutual understanding. Next is helps both the sender and the receiver. It is helpful for both the sender and the receiver. Next is haptics, touch, tactile communication. See, touch therapy, I have already discussed that there is a healing effect. It gives a healing effect. If you just know give pats the back of some individual, it has multiple meanings. It has multiple meanings. You might be there to appreciate him, you might be there to support him, you might be there to almost to ridicule him even. So this ridicule others, we can also do it, but that doing is in a different way. The notion of the that action would differ from the first two one. Now next is the like this particular healing effect, touch or tactile communication. The purpose of this is to comfort, to establish dominance. Yes, to establish dominance. You can touch others to show your superiority over others, to show that you are superior to those people or to that individual, to establish bonds. It develops a bonding between the two. So this the third point, or the third reason, or the third established example that it can develop a good bonding. Next is intentions, feelings, relationship, and respect. These are the gestures, these are the like psychological impacts which can be created with the help of this tactile therapy or that touch therapy. Next is functional, social, friendship, and love. These are the other feelings which can be expressed by this particular therapy or this particular practice. Next is important means to convey warmth, comfort, and reassurance. Reassurance means nothing to be worried. I am here to support you. What's difference between you and me? If you have lost something, I am here to assist you. I am here to guide you. I am here to motivate you. I am here to support you. So this is the reassurance. Now this proxemics. Proxemics means knowledge of appropriate space between relationships. Now in different scenarios, in different circumstances, in different circles, we are having a different space. We are required to maintain a different space between the two, between me as an individual and between the other individual who is interacting or discussing with me or having a communication with me. So there are four different pillars of this space graph. Number one is intimate. Intimate means family bonding, where we are blood relations. Personal bonding. Bonding means in your neighborhood you are having a different friend circle, whereas at your office you are having a different friend circle, and at your college or school studies you are having a different friend circle. Next is social. Social means your colleagues. Social means your colleagues who are colleagues at the office and who are friends at the personal circle, means they are your neighbors also and your colleagues also, like that. And public, general public, we are at the marketplace, we are interacting, so to some shopkeeper we are interacting sorry, we are interacting to some with some hawker or like that. So there are multiple other relations. Suppose you are traveling by bus and you are having an interaction with some conductor, right now, a ticket collector. So these are the public interactions, public communications. So the distances are alike. Intimate, 0 to 0 0.46 meters, that is 1.5 feet maximum, 1.5 feet minimum or maximum, whatever it is, the other way around. Next is personal, 1.2 meter. These are the ideal figures, right? They may deviate from place to place, from location to location, and from culture to culture even, right now. So they does not have any fixed scale. There is always a deviation as per the culture, as per the location, as per the scenario, and as per the mutual understanding. This is personal, 1.2 meter, that is 1.5 to 4 feet. Next is social, 1.2 to 3.7 meter, that is 4 to 12 feet. And public, 3.7 meter, that is almost 12 feet. So this is a general scale which qualifies that what should be the ideal space or gap between two people, the speaker and the listener. Now, the personal space. We are most comfortable at the personal space when it is generally said that your home is the best place, or it's a kind of temple for you that gives you a great and calm relax, right now. So personal space is the most comfortable zone for an individual, and this is the only reason, whether the individual is a small kid, the individual is a young person, the individual is a social member or office going candidate, or the individual is a almost kind of mature person. In all stages, at all segments of life, the individual wishes to be back to his home. The most comfortable platform or place for the individual is the home itself. Next is territorial boundaries directly influence daily encounters. This is the next one, that is the personal. First one was the intimate, second one was the personal. Third is the social. Distance is crucial to transmit right signals. It is owing to the gap, owing to the distance, it is a little crucial. Next is types of relations. The last one depends on the types of relation, that is the public distance. Public distance means to what kind of individual you are interacting, right? So the same gaps are mentioned over here. It is not needed to be like recited once again. Now paralanguage or vocalics. Paralanguage, see, they just have a reading of this. It will not give a variation from the topic. It will give a specific idea to you. We guess, sigh, clear, or our thoughts, change our tone, whisper or shout, emphasize certain words, wave our hands, frown or smile, laugh or cry, string vocal identifiers like oh, oh, and between our words, or speak faster or slower. Whatever kind of attribute, whatever kind of change we occur in our communication is considered, wherever we deviate from the normal speaking is considered the paralanguage. Paralanguage means different ups and downs of the language, different changes in language, different space or gaps in language. So these are the paralanguage. Now this slide says voice communicates something beyond language. Voice communicates something beyond language. Like you are inclined to say something different, but the method or the pattern you speak or assert the words communicates something different. So this is what your feelings are different, like your feelings are expressed by your words. Your feelings or your eternal emotions are expressed by your words, but if you are having something different in your mind and something different at your heart, so the pattern of your language would completely be changed. There will be different intonations and gaps in that. Next is paralanguage. All vocally produced sound that is not a direct form of linguistic communication. This is the paralanguage. Now, non-lexical vocal communication. What is non-lexical vocal communication? Let's have a look of the same. Tone, your tone, whether it is high or low, whether it is cool or uncomfortable. In all ways, you are having a different tone. Pitch. Pitch means your pace of speaking. Next is intensity, how fast you are speaking. Articulation, what kind of gaps you are giving to your speech. Rhythm, what is your rhythm, whether you are stammering or you are very much fluent in your speaking, that is the rhythm. And quality, whether you are applying appropriate words at appropriate place or not. This is fluency, pauses and tempo. Everything has a meaning, everything has a different segment. So all these are considered to be the combinations of verbal and non-verbal communication. All these are considered to be the kind of your difference, a kind of indifference between your words and your feelings. Exactly. Now, non-verbal communication again can be reflected by your body language. We are having a couple of people here standing and having different looks at their and facial expressions. So this appearance and artifacts gives a kind of impact over the viewer. We guess, we just we just start placing these people as per their mentality. What could be the mentality of the candidate who is towards the left hand side? He is in like proper suit, having a tie, like he is a kind of very much satisfied person who has gained all success in life, who has a proud over him, who has a satisfaction, sense of deep satisfaction for himself even. So this is the kind of fellow who is having a sense of pride, sense of extent of satisfaction for himself, right? And he is a successful man. Second, a lady. That lady may be a teacher, a school teacher. That lady may be a convent school teacher. That lady may be a professional, like MNC professional, such kind of person. This guy, the third from the left, he may be a model. He may be a kind of youth, college going youth, or like that. So in such way, we are having different impressions, different feelings for different kind of persons, and these feelings and impressions that we create for others are generally based on the kind of appearance, on the kind of attire, on the kind of like entire pose they are having and they are giving. Now, crucial first impression versus creates an image. Crucial first impression. It is generally said that first impression is the last impression, right? So what? Why it is so? Why it is so? Why it is generally said so that first impression is the last impression? Because it creates an image of the other individual at the back of your mind. It develops a particular picture, and that picture speaks in itself, right now. So that is why the the first impression is considered or is called the very much crucial, right now. So this is what the here the thing is to be said. Next is major factor in judging a person provides the first available data, right? Major factor of judging a person provides the first available data. And what is the data? You do not have any background of the individual, you have never met with the individual, you have never heard of the individual. The very first time you are meeting to some co-passenger at the time of traveling by train or by bus or by plane to some out station, and you are having the first interaction. He has just come to your compartment and has just become a like co-passenger of yours by being there at the by seat or beside seat. So the way of his coming, the way of his seating, the way of his interacting, or the way of his rather gazing to you would make a difference, would create a picture of his personality over your back head. Next is clothing, grooming, and accessories. Clothing, grooming, and accessories. A person in proper uniform, in proper dressed up, in a perfect dressed up pose would give a pleasant impression. If he is having a pen of Parker, if he is having a white shirt and a black pen of Parker with a golden cap, it would give a very much professional impression of the individual over you or to you. And you by default respect will be developed for that sort of individual, whether you do not know whether he is a criminal or he is a gentleman, but still the kind of impression, the kind of first impression you create by the looks that he is giving to you creates by the kind of posture, by the kind of attire that he is having. Next is clothing, grooming, and accessories. Next is status, personality, credibility, and capability. Now, you start talking to that person through the basis of your traveling. You start interacting with the person and you start knowing a little bit or something about the person, and you give your background to the person. In that interaction, in that particular development of exchange of thoughts, you start developing a deeper impression of the individual, and a kind of credibility is established. If you go for washroom at that time and he says that no worry, I am here, I will look after your luggage, bag and baggage, so it will give, and when you come back you get everything as safe as it was in your presence. So it means that he has developed a kind of confidence over you. You become confident that yes, he is a gentleman, like that. Next is inferences are made right or wrong. Inferences are made right or wrong means the kind of impression you get by the looks of others, by the clothing of others, by the first interaction of others may both be right or wrong. Like you can be fooled also, you can be bluffed also. There are the cheaters in the market, so they can cheat you in that way even, right now. So this is there. Next is necessary to pay attention. Necessary to pay attention means to understand the other individual, you require a specific time, you require some space, you require some time to spare with him. So this is what, if you are having a sense of reliance over others, just be very careful and cautious whether your decision is could not can whether your decision is right or wrong. It should not be incorrect, otherwise you may be cheated. So next is chronemics. Chronemics is the role of time in communication. Suppose some question is asked you and you respond it after the time is over. What's the fun of that response? The time has gone. Nobody's care what you are saying right now, because the particular time when you are expected to speak something, you didn't speak, and now whatever you are speaking is of no value. It's all futile, it's all vague. So time component is very important in communication. Whatever you are communicating should be framed should be befitting to the time zone. So time is utmost important, and this time fragment is called chronemics. What is this? What do you call it? Chronemics. Use of time as a message system. Use of time as a message system means time should be used in the most appropriate manner in communication. The entire communication should be perfectly abided to the time expected out of it. Punctuality, deadline, waiting time. All success people have a respect for time. It is generally observed that all those individuals who are successful in their life have had a great respect for time. If they have given a particular time to other individuals that I will be available at this and this hour, at this and this minute, at that place, they would definitely have been there at that on that particular given time. Next is creates an impact. Like late comers are never respected in the class, at any platform, at offices even. If you are late from your given time or assigned time, you are having to face insult only. You will be facing insult either today or tomorrow. But insult will be there. So time by abiding time abidance creates a positive impact over others. Amount of importance we give to time, right? Amount of importance we give to time determines the ratio of our success, or the success graph is determined by the amount of importance that we give or dedicate to our time. Now there are some gestures, there are some images of the figures, right? Reflections of the figures, and the people are having a standing pose in different they are standing, they are having a stand as a still pose in different poses. Now you can guess in what mode what person is standing, what is the mentality, what is the process of what person, what is the psychology of what person, whether he is careful or he is keen and concerned, and so on. Now these are some other photographs which gives each and every photograph speaks something and clarifies something without even asserting a single word out of the mouth. Next is she doing the and saying the same thing? Whatever she is doing, is she reflecting the same thing? Is she asserting the same thing? Is she communicating the same thing? Or she is busy doing something by force and she is inclined to do something different? Is she doing and saying the same thing? Again, she is seated, whether she is comfortable or she is perplexed, whether she is cool or she is tensed. So everything has a different gesture, everything has a different pose, but most of the time you remain honest by your body language. Now, is he doing and saying the same thing? Like whatever he is inclined to do. I am really sorry, I am beating you. I feel really bad. Right? Whether he is feeling bad of beating you or he is like excited of beating you. His body language is saying something different. His originality is saying something different. His words are saying something different. So this is what the non-verbal communication is. And up to this slide, it is all over. I have covered almost every fragment of non-verbal communication. So if you are having some queries, you are all the way welcome to just interact with me over like through email communication or over mobile. I am all the way ready and available at my office timings with you people and to you people. So thank you very much for today's video. We will be available sometime other some other time with some different topic with some different video. Thank you very much.